friends, welcome to another video. My name is Kelsey Ann and I put together motherhood and homemaking videos on this channel. So I did not have this video planned for this week. I planned to do a little bit further down the road, but I kind of felt like chatting with you all. So this video was sporadic, it was a little bit disjointed, and my lighting was kind of funky, so apologies for that. Additionally, I kept losing footage. I was running out of space on my card, and so I had to refilm some of the segments a couple times over. So hopefully the things that I'm saying make sense to you, are clear, and that it just really gives you some ideas and some insight in just how I have dealt with motherhood as a perfectionist myself. And without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Today I wanted to do something a little bit different. I thought I would just sit down and chat with you all about a subject that has been something that I've thought about a lot, something that I've had to kind of grapple with over the years, and then as a mom, that's definitely something that I have had to really figure out, and that is balancing perfectionism with motherhood. And this is something that I have actually talked to some other moms about, and I don't have it all figured out myself as far as how to handle this. So this is something I just wanted to sit down and chat with you all about a little bit. Perfectionism is something that I've always struggled with as long as I can remember. And it has its good qualities, but it also can be destructive. So as an individual, I've just had to try and navigate that and figure it out. But also, now that I've become a mother, I'm a mom to a 2-year-old and a 5-month-old. And so just navigating my tendency towards perfectionism really clashes sometimes with my ability to be a good mom. And so I just kind of want to work through some of that. And I just thought I'd take you along with me as I chat a little bit about this subject. Okay, so as I said, I have always struggled with perfectionism, and I say struggled, it's a struggle. It also is something that I am not ashamed of. Like, I'm proud of the fact that I'm a perfectionist. I don't know if that's a good thing. Whenever I'm trying to accomplish a task, I really do give it my all, and I try and do it to the best of my ability. But with that, being in the mindset of trying to do it the right way, I want to do them properly, I want to do them perfectly. I have a toddler boy and I have a baby girl. So having 2 kiddos in the house basically means that I've had to let go of the idea of perfectionism, at least what it's looked like for me in the past. So some ways that I tend to be perfectionist has been in the way that I carry out just basic day-to-day tasks. For example, when I fold my clothes, I have to fold them a certain way. And not only that, but I really try hard to find the perfect way to do it. That changes over the years as my organizational style changes and the methods change and such. But I always try and have the best way to fold clothes, the best way to fold towels and sheets. And I take a lot of joy in just finding out the most efficient and practical way to do these things, but I really enjoy it too. I enjoy the process. Additionally, that applies with my housework and just, like I said, basic day-to-day tasks. I try and find the best, perfect way to do them. And that worked for me when I was single. That worked for me as a married woman. But with 2 kids, I'm having to let some of that perfectionism go. And that's been tough for me because I feel like it's just so built in me to do things a certain way. I feel like I'm doing a bad job as a mom when I don't do those things perfectly. So I'm not at a point where I'm completely happy with like how I view my home and the approach that I have, but I think I've definitely gotten to a place where I'm getting more and more comfortable with letting some things go. As a mom, like, you want to hold on to doing things a certain way and be able to continue with that level of quality. And you can in time, but there are seasons in life where you're not going to be able to do things the same way you've always done them. And I think that's just something that I've had to deal with and come to terms with over the past few months especially. I struggled at a certain point when shortly after having Violet, I mean, things were going pretty well and I was managing too just fine. But there was a point where things got harder for me. I think I would say when Violet was hitting, I think that 2-month mark, 2 to 3 month mark, maybe it was more like the 3-month mark, and I was just really struggling. I think part of it was maybe some postpartum hormones that was just rearing its head late, but I was really struggling to get things done, and I was really struggling with feeling like I was being productive at all. And my husband is really sweet. He's constantly reminding me, and still does, that my most important job as a mom is to raise those kids, and he really does well with encouraging me in the things that matter. He doesn't get upset if there are messes around, if I haven't got everything done. I get mad at myself because I haven't done the job that I planned to do. He's like, no, you've been raising these kids, you're working hard, and I know you're doing your best, and that's all that really matters, is that you are focusing on those kids. And so I really appreciate his heart and his approach to it, and how understanding he is to me as well. He doesn't have a high expectation. Expectation is something that I actually want to camp on a little bit. I have high expectation for myself. And while that can be a good thing, that also makes it more difficult, and it means there's more stress and there's more disappointment. So things aren't always going to go our way. That's life, right? When you have kiddos, things are not, like, probably 95% of the time going to go the way that I want them to. So being able to recognize that and being able to come to terms with that is really important. Being more flexible and easygoing, but it's not something that you can just start doing. You really have to have a certain mindset, and you really have to look at things a little bit differently. And apologies for the lighting change, but I know it's a little bit annoying because the wind is blowing and the lighting is just constantly changing with all the leaves and things being blown around outside. I don't have fancy lighting equipment right now, so I'm sorry. You know, this is what I've got, this is what I'm working with. So expectation is something that I need to make sure I'm not holding on to too tightly. I really put too much stock in my expectations, and as a perfectionist, I really put a lot of emphasis and focus on getting accomplished what I want to get accomplished for the day. And that means that I have these high expectations for myself, and then when that isn't accomplished, it's really easy to grow discouraged, and it just ruins the mood of the day for me. But what's important to recognize is that those little things that sort of mess up the day, it's not worth getting upset about, and it's not worth ruining my day for. I don't want to let those little things affect how I parent and interact with my children. I don't want it to affect how I interact with my husband. What truly is important is that I am raising my children in the fear and admonition of the Lord, that I am being the godly and strong helpmeet for my husband that I am called to be, that I am putting all my focus and my effort and using my God-given abilities for the purpose of helping my family, being the homemaker that I believe God has called me to be, using all the gifts and all the opportunities that God has given me and using those to bring glory to Him. Those are the things that really matter. These little trivial things, like little messes that I don't expect, problems that are thrown into my day, getting upset over those is counterproductive, and it's just wrong. It's not an attitude that I want to have, and it means that my focus is in the wrong place. My focus needs to be on Christ, and my focus needs to be on my family. And as a Christian, I just don't believe it's right for me to get so caught up in these little things and letting it become such a negative thing in my life. I'm not saying for you to lower your expectations. I'm just saying that I found it's important to have realistic expectations and then be able to let those expectations go when they aren't going according to plan and when things don't go exactly as I wanted. Making sure that I don't hold my expectations too firmly. So with that in mind, something else that has been important to recognize is control. As a perfectionist, I have the desire to control my world as much as possible. And it's been really important for me to recognize what I can control and what I shouldn't be controlling, what I can't control, and then not getting caught up in the aspects that I cannot control. So I need to make sure I am controlling the things that I can in the realm that I can, but then letting go of the things that I can't control. And with that, I really have to be able to recognize the areas that I can't control. And so for you, if you are like me and you're struggling with perfectionism, recognize the areas that you are able to control and have as much order as you can in those areas, because that is important. We need order in our lives. But then the areas that you have no control over, or even for me, the hard part is the areas that I feel like I should be able to control more, like the way the day goes or the tasks I accomplish, but I really can't completely control that. Being able to let that go is very important. Another thing that I found to be very beneficial as I deal with perfectionism and motherhood and just trying to balance those two together is turning negatives into positives. So something that in my mind is a negative, really turning it around to find it to be something that brings me joy instead. And I know that sounds a little abstract, but in a practical example, I would say something that I have turned around is my dislike for toys and things around the house. I definitely try and pick up throughout the day here and there, but toy clutter and toy mess is just something that is counterintuitive during the day with kiddos that are playing. I want to make sure my toys, the kids' toys, are organized, but during the day when they're playing with them and stuff, there is no point in following Malachi around and picking up after him or having him clean up every single mess, because he's going to just get his toys out again. So sometimes at nap time, if I have the chance, I will pick up a little bit. But I just don't worry about it. I try and pick up in the evening before bed. That's really important. That really brings order to the home in the morning. But I don't worry about it all the time throughout the day. That's something I've had to let go. And as I've been able to let that go, it's really helped my focus, and it's helped me not be bothered by it as much. So the positive that I see through this is when I look at those toys, or I see like his little shoes sitting around, or some of the trucks he was playing with, it just fills my heart with joy to be a mom to him. And it fills my heart with joy to be able to see these baby things like Violet's blanket laying around, and just to know that God has blessed me with these children. And I just will pray for them and thank God for them. And it just, rather than creating this stress and anger about the mess and the clutter, it just creates this joy in me that can't be fabricated on my own. Like, I just am so blessed to be a mom, and I will not let these little messes get in the way of that feeling and that reality. Anytime that I see these messes laying around, I haven't had the chance to get to them, I really try and thank God for giving me those messes, because the messes mean that I have these wonderful children. And sort of rearranging my mind and how I process it has helped me immensely, and brought more joy into my home through the mess. God has a way of bringing things out through chaos and turning them into good. That's true on a huge scale. That's true on a smaller scale, like little toys laying all over my living room floor. So just in summary, balancing perfectionism with motherhood, manage your expectations, recognize the areas you can control, and let go of the areas that you can't. And thirdly, turn negatives into positives. These three things really will get you a head start in trying to manage that desire towards perfectionism and craft it into something that is going to benefit your family rather than drag them down. And the same goes for you and for your attitude. I've really found that when I can't let go of these things, when I really get so caught up in my ability to control and manage and just do things perfectly, it really drags the family down. Even if things go exactly my way, it means my expectations will be higher the next time. So manage your expectations, control the areas you can, let go of the areas you can't, turn those negatives into positives. I hope that some of these points were helpful for you. It's just something I have been working through a lot myself and thought I would share with you all. And so yes, it's kind of a long chatty video, but thank you if you stuck around, and just let me know some areas that have been a struggle for you as a mom. I would love to chat with you in the comments and just see where we're all at. We're all learning and growing, and this is a journey and it is not an easy one. So I would just love to hear from you, and if you enjoyed this video, then give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you would like more content. I'm so glad that you were able to spend part of your day with me, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye. Well, hey there. Come here, buddy. Hi.
Hi.
I love you.
Hi.
Mwah.
I am doing
I am filming a video.
Mama.
That's right. That's my
Mama.
notebook. Do you want to say goodbye?
Goodbye.
Say goodbye, friends.
Goodbye, friend.
See you soon.
See you soon. Mama.
Oh, you're just too cute for words.
Hi.